organizing all of this stuff, and then also his connections with the transhumanist movement. This was one of the book excerpts that we talked about, where it says from the very start, the founders of Google saw it as a vehicle to realize the dream of artificial intelligence in augmenting humanity. And then I put the clips in there of Eric Schmidt saying it right to your face. They are using AI to augment humanity, not just augmented reality, but to augment humanity. And this is where it ties into these, quote, cyber kids, these autistic children, and everybody who is on the spectrum of assimilation into the artificial intelligence sentient world simulation or the augmented reality. This is all one big program. So let's look at the big picture of Google. When we say that they developed AI just to augment humanity, let's look at that in context and see what we're really talking about. First of all, Google is owned by the Alphabet agencies. It's Alphabet Corporation, but we all know that, I mean, it's tongue-in-cheek, right? Double entendres. The Alphabet agencies, the CIA, the DoD have been behind all of these programs. So let's just start there. Google in itself is a product of the secret societies. That's the very definition of the secret societies and the mystery schools. They keep the top secret information secret. That's a secret society. The mysteries and technology, all of that, that is for them only. And they spoon feed it out to their initiates who they recruit themselves. So they are the same secret societies. The New World Order is the Old World Order. So here's just a quick rundown of what's actually going on. Okay, Google created the quantum AI labs. Right here on the screen, there's tons of videos you can go and watch about the Google Quantum AI Lab. It's not some hidden DARPA project anymore. It's out in the open. They're proud of it. So you can go and learn all about it. Just, quote, Google it, right? Just Google it. It will tell you everything it wants you to know about itself. Number 2, Google developed AI specifically to augment humanity. That's a no-brainer. We've talked about that ad nauseum with hundreds of hours of evidence over the last 10 years. Number 3, then Google set up 23andMe to build the seed bank, or the DNA database on humanity. So when we talk about celebrity clones and all of this stuff we see, they literally built a seed bank, a DNA database on humanity. And then they used our DNA, their DNA database that everybody sent their DNA to willingly, a lot of you. They used our DNA database to get a patent for a breeding program for designer babies. True story, mainstream news, right on the screen.
An individual's DNA is more identifying than a name, a social security number, or even a fingerprint. So why is a multinational tech company with a focus on internet-related services and products so interested in the genetic codes of millions of strangers? Why does a company that data mines from you want to mine DNA from you? And most importantly, why does Google want your DNA? Let me begin by introducing you to the Wojcicki sisters. You probably already know Susan. She served as the CEO of YouTube since 2014. Her sister, Janet, is a professor of pediatrics, with a great deal of her work taking place in Africa. The youngest sister, Anne, is the CEO of 23andMe, a for-profit human genome research company that allows consumers to study their ancestry, genealogy, and inherited traits. Anne was once married to Sergey Brin, Google's co-founder and current president of Google's parent company, Alphabet Inc. The story goes a little something like this. In 1998, Susan rented out a garage to Google founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page. Susan was hired as Google's 18th employee, and Sergey married her sister Anne in 2007, 1 year after Anne co-founded 23andMe. If you are wondering about the 23, it represents the number of chromosome pairs in humans. The company began as a mail-order genetics testing firm backed by investors like Anne's husband. The company offers kits that test and produce reports, which reveal anything from your ancestry to whether or not you carry genetic markers that are associated with risk for certain health conditions, to reports on your overall wellness and muscle composition and your likelihood of inheriting certain traits, ranging from hair color to how your body responds to alcohol or caffeine. 23andMe's biobank is the world's largest repository of DNA samples. This biobank contains extensive health information on millions of individuals, and these DNA samples were willingly provided by paying customers. Selling access to this biobank to undisclosed third parties is a major source of profit for 23andMe. They've essentially monetized the human genome, which is all the genetic information on a person, packaged and sold like a commodity. I want to do a little follow-up on a series of videos I did back in 2017, 2018 about these DNA testing companies that were basically ran by the two distinctive groups, two distinctive DNA mafias, if you will. If you remember, the Mormons ran the Ancestry DNA pyramid, and the God-chosen people over at Google ran the 23andMe bioweapon designer baby factory. In summary, that's basically what the videos boiled down to. You spit in the tube and try to find out where your family's from, who's your daddy, and your spit tube ends up in the hands of Mormons who are more concerned about your lineage or your bloodline, from what I can tell anyway. And the small hat Google people are more concerned about your health, in quotes, and how to monetize your genome. So these companies sell your sample to the highest shady bidder, and your DNA ends up in a database trying to, I don't know, connect you to crimes and whatnot, or put your DNA at one of their crime scenes, you know? But what you need to remember here is no matter what kind of information you find out through these DNA testing companies, you're not the customer, you're the product. While I know that research and scientific advancement saves lives, I also know that questioning what's in the Kool-Aid before you drink it also saves lives. Here's an example from 23andMe, with their customers being their biobank on which to capitalize with various patents. Through this biobank that customers paid to be a part of, they were able to patent the technology for making designer babies in 2013. The idea is that you could say, I want to have this type of child, and generate the DNA with that profile. But 23andMe assured the press they wouldn't be utilizing this patent, which makes no sense in my simple mind. But the fact is, the customer biobank DNA was utilized for this purpose, and guess what? It was outlined in the legal agreement. Alrighty, now let's take a look at who invests in 23andMe. Let's also take a look at the other companies they invest in.
Okay, then 4. Google then openly hires transhumanist Ray Kurzweil, who pushes the new age of spiritual machines. This is one of the new age movement, like we talked about. The Kundalini serpent is the biopython, nano spirit technology that links into the chakras. So Google openly hires transhumanist Ray Kurzweil, who pushes the new age of, quote, spiritual machines. He pushes nanotechnology, digital clones, uploading your consciousness, and creating God. He literally says they are creating God.
That's really the main reason